We have just been through a big cosmic shift, and I'm super excited about this. I want to talk about this more because so many people felt like they've been held back since 2024, unable to get any momentum in a certain area of their life that they've been wanting to focus on. And now, February the 22nd and February the 23rd of 2025, we have had the shift. Finally, hallelujah. Are you with me? Have you felt it? So today I want to talk a little bit more about that by bringing in the cards. So we're going to do a collective card pull. And I'm really excited because there's a lot of extraterrestrial energy, a lot of starseed energy that is flooding through our very own soul streams into our soul, into our human, so we can bring this forward into the area that we are designed to focus on right now. So I personally felt it myself. I felt like I was like treading water. I felt like I was walking on a treadmill and not really getting anywhere. Of course, this is a bit of an illusion because we're always shifting and growing and evolving. But whatever I kind of put my thought onto, my focus on, it just wasn't quite working in the way that I wanted it to work. So we've now gone through this planetary shift. The doors have been opened. Thank you, universe. And now we can actually walk forward with more clarity into what it is that we actually want. So most of us are actually doing a review and a reflection on where we were this time last year. So it's actually a whole year review and reflection. And that means that some things might be popping up for you right now in the subconscious, in your dreams, in your thoughts, awareness that you might want to let go of, including friendships or maybe even some habits or patterns that keep popping up in your life. Your year is going to look different from now. Okay. So in a year from now, you're going to look completely different again. But right now, let's review where you were this time last year. Okay. So I want you to take a moment to either write down that question and come back to it in your journal prompt, or even pause this video and go into it. Do 5 minutes of where was I this time last year? And you'll notice that there is some reflections coming up to be reviewed to see if you want to carry on in that direction or with those people or with that interest or that habit or that pattern. So I'm really curious about what that is for you, and please feel free to share below, because when I did this process today alongside my guides, I was quite surprised at the people that were in my life this time last year and how they are no longer in my life, and reviewing the reason, the purpose, why, and sitting within my body of how that feels with the decisions that I've made. We get to review, we get to pivot, we get to change, we get to renew if we are choosing to. Okay, so are you with me? Are you ready for this collective card pull? I know I am. So there's a lot of extraterrestrial sightings, a lot of starseed energy around, like I mentioned, a lot of information coming through into our light bodies from our soul streams into our soul, pouring out our being, because we are living our life on purpose to really complete a mission that we are here for, whether you're under the spiritual umbrella, whether you're under the religious umbrella, whether you're under the just living your day-to-day umbrella, being a human, the human umbrella. Trust me, you are doing work even if you're not aware of it. So today I'm going to be using my favorite deck right now because I have a guide, and she is Lemurian and she is blue, and she is what I call on my spirit team. So she is someone who is with me from the moment I was born until I leave this body. She is a part of my soul stream, which means that she is actually a part of me. So our guides and our spirit teams have different purposes. Some come, some go, and my Lemurian blue being called Joy, she comes with me wherever I go and just shows herself when there's a message that I need to receive to come back to self. So I wonder how many spirit guides you have. I wonder how many people are on your spirit team. This is something that we do in week 3 of Magnificent Mediumship. So it's really, really fun to see if there is star seeds, if there is extraterrestrials, if there is elementals and fairies, spirits, light beings, angels, dragons, all a part of your spirit team, and spirit guides. Some come and go, some stay around forever for your whole lifetime, and it's really fun to explore. So, anyway, these are the cards I'm going to be using today. There has been a lot of communication coming in from the different galactic collectives, and you don't have to talk to an ET or a light being or see them to receive this information. It usually comes through in codes, in a feeling, a frequency, a vibration, sound, and we just literally receive it through our bodies. This can happen in the form of light language. It can happen in the form of like telepathic connections when we're in a dream state. And everybody is receiving downloads right now from their very own soul streams. We've got some jumpers there. I'm gonna pop them back in. There was too many. For this time as we are awakening and coming into our light bodies even more. And like I said, okay, spirit is here because my nose is very itchy. Like I said, 2025, the doors have opened for us to actually begin this next part. If you have been feeling that your energy has been a little bit low, you've been maybe receiving like the Ascension flu, maybe you've been going through what we call viruses, maybe you feel like you've been going through waves or your cycles have been a little bit more intense. I know I've been kind of having highs and I'm like, why am I so high? And then I'm having really like lull times where I'm like, I'm tired, I need to sleep for 3 days. Now, this kind of manic energy, it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling wired. It just means your body is going through massive upgrades. We've got the frequency of the earth, the Schumann resonance, which is going spiking, and the earth is going through the ninth year as she evolves, which means, of course, we're a part of the earth. So we are going to be lightening up and transforming as well. So this is not a time where we're all just like, let's be monks and enlighten. To enlighten, we need to lighten the load, which means we need to get rid of the old that no longer serves us. So I'm going to share with you the first card that we have. This is to support you going forward and the intentions that you have going forward in your conscious self. Okay, so your highest consciousness and your conscious self, whatever you're putting your energy towards, is what you will be achieving in the highest vibrational and form, the easiest, least path of least resistance for you. So this card is really beautiful because it's to do with the heart chakra, ecstatic bliss. And I've been talking a lot to my clients about, they're like, I don't want to start an online business and do it like everybody else, or I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that. And I'm like, well, don't do it. So we've really been called to ask the question, like, what do I want to do and how do I want to do it? Because your wants from a year ago, we're reflecting and reviewing, they may be different. So we can renew that kind of contract and what we wanted to do, or we can pivot and shift. We can change and realign to the path that is actually probably a little bit easier. But at first, it's going to feel hard. And what I want to say to you here is when it comes to the high heart chakra, it's really about you choosing from leading yourself with your heart, not with your head. So my question to you is, what do you see there? What do you personally see? And please feel free to tell me in the chat what you feel, what you see. I'm seeing alignment. I'm seeing the depth and the darkness of the card and the lightness at the top of the card. Now, we can't, as spiritual beings, be up in our head, in our third eye, and ignore the body. We can't do that because we're having a human experience, as much as many people message me and say, why? Why can't I just go home? Like, I get it. I've been there, but right now I'm here, and wherever I am, that is where I am. So I want to be here and to be present. Power of Now is a great book to really anchor in. It's really important to know that this chakra up here is just as important as the chakras down here. And to master your mediumship, to master your spirituality, to master your consciousness is really about being here in this body. And I know so many people don't want to hear that, and that's because it's true, right? So how does that feel for you? I'm curious. And Have you been having inklings to follow your heart, to say no to things, to say yes to other things, and to actually to let other people surprise you and to surprise yourself? This is not the time to feel the pressure or to feel expectations from others. It's actually the time to slay in your own lane and ask, what is correct for me at this time? I went as far as telling one of my masterminders today when she said she's a manifester and she said, look, I don't think I want to do anything online. I just want to live my life and be with my family and be in the energy of peace. And I said, there's nothing stopping you from turning off all your digital devices, having a dopamine like a dopamine detox. I was going to say having a holiday, dopamine holiday, and literally just going out into the community and doing your work as a healer in the community of living people, not online. And she just went, oh my God, that feels so good. And I was like, if you need a permission slip, and I say this to you now, here is your permission slip. Go do what feels good. Yes, we've got the spirit. Yes, we've got the human. Yes, we need to look after our human and the humans around us. Okay, we need money because money is our energetic currency for our home, for our food, for our body. Everything that we require is so we can do our mission here on the planet. But where are we doing things because we think we need to do them and do them like other people, rather than actually going, what do I want to do? And how can I do it in a way that feels really good for me? And this comes back to your your authority, your strategy, your energetic capacity with your human design, with essentially your aura and your intuition. So the first card was all about following your heart home, because wherever your heart is, that is where your home is. Rather than trying to chase the thing, if we actually come inward, we can say, okay, the paths are clear. Now I get to choose what I want to do. Use your noggin, your intelligent computer up here, your brain that God gave you to actually go, what are the next steps? And what if I change my strategy? What if I change my strategy? Okay. And of course, this goes really well with what I'm talking about with the internal explorer. And I love this because what if you made your life all about observation and curiosity? What if you were observing your thoughts, observing the way your human was walking and holding herself or himself? I like to observe myself and go, if I was watching myself, my future self, 10 years time, I'll be nearly 52. And if I'm observing myself as this 41-year-old and how I'm walking and talking and what I'm thinking and who I'm talking to and where I'm putting my energy, would I be impressed with myself? Or would I see myself wasting a lot of time, consuming too much on the cell phone? Would I see myself literally bypassing by, I don't know, binging Netflix or food? Or are you doing an honor to your future self in the way that you are living? And this is all about, like I say, going into this internal exploration of, how am I going? How am I feeling? Do I still want to go in this direction? Or is there a better path, a different way? So there's a lot of disclosures coming out, and this can happen in our everyday lives as well. So, like I said before, in our relationships, maybe like we have been in some type of container or community and it's no longer aligned. Do we want to make it like a judgment? Do we want to make it a drama for us to shift gears, to pivot, to change, to evolve and grow? I don't think so. I think it's really important at this time to know that we may have outgrown some things, or maybe we're not ready for things, and that's okay. Maybe if we came inward and we got honest with ourselves and we asked the question, what do I want to say no to? And what do I want to say yes to via my heart, not my head? What decisions would I make differently a year ago if I came from that strategy? And this is that beautiful internal explorer. It's the beauty of looking yourself straight in the eyes and saying, hey, am I doing what I require to do for my happiness, my joy, my inner peace? Okay, so I ask you those questions now. Are you doing what you require for your inner joy, your inner peace, your inner integrity and authenticity? In 10 years' time, are you going to look back at your now self? And I'm going to go journal on this myself. And am I going to be like, I am so proud of you because you were taking the micro steps every day with your body, with your mindset, with the people around you. You were being bold and brave and saying yes to some things, no to other things, always following your heart, even when it felt a little bit hard. I'm just really curious what is coming up for you. Oh my goodness. And just to let you know, whatever time you're listening to this, whatever space, whatever dimension, whatever time you're listening to this, whatever date, it is still relevant for you because time isn't actually real. The truth is, I'm diving into your energy now. I'm actually reading for everybody who has landed on this YouTube video and who is requiring some guidance. So if you're still here, uh, well done. Come and say hello. Don't go anywhere. We've got a couple more cards left, and I would really love to have a little bit of interaction to know what is landing for you and how you're feeling. Have you been feeling some some energies around you that seem a little bit different? And this is that soul stream that I've been speaking about as we're lightening up our bodies. We and the earth is lightening up and the planets have shifted. We've got this clear energy coming through for clarity, for reviewing. And it can be tough because sometimes we've got to let go of old patterns and people and some of the things that our minds have to shift. We have to let go of addictions. And sometimes we can be addicted to technology, the dopamine hits, the gossip, or the Netflix. And for me personally, I'm very much about watching things that are a high vibration. As much as I really want to go binge some junky TV, I am like, no, because whatever I feed my body, whether it's words, whether it's food, whether it's watching something or hearing something, I want it to be a high vibration for this next part of my evolution. So a little bit of how I function with this upgrade as well. Okay, the next card is, oh, I don't think I've pulled this one before. The Violet Flame. And of course, this makes total sense when I'm talking about these energetic upgrades. If we're energetically upgrading, what got us here won't get us there because we're continuously evolving. And like I said before, like I feel like I've been treading water a little bit. I'm like, hey, when am I gonna like actually land on land or walking on a treadmill? Okay, like I feel like I'm not going anywhere, but we're still clocking up, clocking up the steps, if you will. We're still doing the work. And we've got to understand that there is thy way versus my way. And it's really important to know that your higher self, God creator, source consciousness, whatever the universe has got such a divine plan that you have curated before you came here. So following your heart, I just thread all these cards through, following your heart and allowing yourself to get curious and observing and doing that before you make any big decisions. The review and the reflection and is super important. So we're renewing that. And the violet flame, of course, comes through strongly because this is a spiritual healing and clearing as that's why the extraterrestrials and the starseeds are in full form right now and coming through because they're helping to upgrade us at a cellular level. So you may be thinking differently. I had another girl in my mastermind today say, I am not even thinking. I am clear. She had no thoughts. And that's what we call transcendence, to go beyond the thinking mind to just to be in presence. And that's why I highly recommend the power of now because it helps you to do that. The violet flame, when I look at this, we get to understand that as we lighten up, we also get to help others ignite their violet flame. So it's a ripple effect of change that is happening in the world that starts internally with our own exploration. I often go on about have being the individual expression within the collective because we create the collective, but we must have that soul spark, that soul seed within the collective consciousness, which ripples out and shifts the collective as we know it, because we are a big deal within the spaces. So you are a big deal within that. You are a healer within that. And everything that you touch with your vibration will like expand it, right? Or it will bring it down if the thing that you are influencing decides to drop its vibration. Okay. But we don't ever have to drop our vibration ever unless we choose to. So, for instance, nobody can make you feel a certain way unless you allow them to. There's a conscious choice at a certain point that when you drop down and you go, you made me feel like shit. Well, no, they didn't, but that is what you chose to do. We don't need to drop our vibration for anybody. In fact, we choose to. And this is the same with everybody else. If you're around others, of course, you're going to help raise their vibration because it happens naturally. But also, if you are being really negative and you're feeling really low and you're purging your energy around, you've got loose boundaries and standards, others can literally drop their vibration if they choose to. But it is a choice. It is a choice. So we do want to watch our energy, our vibration, and our words, which is really important because it's positivity is the key and gratitude for what we're going through in 2025. Okay, we've got fire. I'm not surprised with having a fire sign and the dragons after having the year of the dragon last year. Um, and of course, the yellow pops up. We can see that within this beautiful picture, there is a woman in here as well. She is entangled in what I would call a collective consciousness, a power. We just had the violet flame, and now we're bringing fire into it. What needs to burn away will burn away. Um, I do Reiki Holy Fire. I'm a Reiki master in this. And I'm often, even now, as I put my hands out, I feel this fire coming through. You can see my nails are very kind of like bright and fiery. And if we burn away this energy with a violet flame or whatever color, it literally opens up our body so we can receive more in a larger capacity. Again, what needs to go? What needs to go? What needs to go so we can hold that high vibration so we can have the ripple effect of change for everyone around us and of course vice versa. So what do you see in that? I see perfect divine alignment and allowing ourselves to be grounded and centered in a clear channel. It's time to be a clear channel, clean water, clean food, enough sleep. Going back to the basics on my IG today, I did IG Live with a woman who works with nutrition and energetics, and there's a psychic medium like myself, and we were talking about the importance of meditation, of clarity, and of bringing joy into your life, bringing dance, embodiment, yoga. And although it kind of feels a little bit unsexy doing the to-do list and going, how am I looking after my body? Because we want the quick fix, right? That's what we want, the quick fixes in this time that we're in. It's really important to go, am I honoring my future self? Am I honoring myself? So when I'm 10 years older than I am now, I'm fitter and healthier and brighter and cleaner than I am today. Okay, so a little bit of food for thought there. I'm going to pull another card here. I would love to know what is popping for you, what is resonating, what is the card that really like speaks to your soul? Because if you are here watching this now, I am reading this for you. And it's a very gentle reading with a lot of power coming through the cards, the vibration from the spirit teams, guides, and the soul streams. It is an activation like always. All of my messages that come through are channels, they are transmissions. Often I do not remember anything that I've said, and I have to watch the video back for my very own knowing to see what came through today. And the codex throughout these videos, whether you watch them from 5 years ago or 5 years from now, they are still relevant. They're still relevant to where you are and what you need to hear today. So even if you jump on one of the YouTube videos, you're watching it halfway through and I pull a card, that's the thing that you need to hear for that day. And often people watch the whole thing and they are getting the whole codex. And then if they listen to it the next day, then of course the messages seem different and it's like they've never heard it before, which is phenomenal. So this card here, of course, we've talked about the heart, we've talked about the blue flame, we've talked about the fire, we've talked about the observing oneself with curiosity, because this is all about you today. And this is the crystal keys. And what I love so much about this card is the thoughts, the possibilities. There's so many destinies that you have, and that's really important to know that there's so many destinies. I always say, "Would you believe in destiny?" And people go, yes or no. And I'm like, well, actually, what if there was so many little threads of destiny, and it's literally where you decide to go is what that ending is, if you will, okay, for a lack of better words with this English language. We're lightening our bodies up, my friends. The lighter you can become with actually allowing your head to be open to go through the transcendence that we spoke about, like the non-thinking. Think when it's appropriately. Think for strategy and think for next steps. But when you're overthinking, you're going into guilt, you're going into distraction. It's not going to serve you. Okay. Follow your heart and then create a strategy with all the epic ideas that you get. We see those bubbles there and go forward with what it is that you want to do. If you're worried about him and her and them and this and that, then you're not going to get too far because you're playing mediocre. Okay. So this is the time for you to step forward in your deepest knowing. She's looking straight at the screen. She's looking straight at you. Her third eye is ready. She is ready for business. The doors have opened from the universe. We've had the 222 portal. On the 23rd, the planets shifted and changed. The universe opened the doors to something new and wonderful and brilliant. You are no longer in a holding pattern. It is time for you to review. It is time for you to reflect. It's time for you to literally take on things and shift them around or release them completely using the holy fire. So it is time for you to get out your crystals, charge them up, cleanse them, utilize them, come into your light body and allow yourself to be the powerful channel that you truly be. Now, I have got an activation guide for you. And if you want to know how you can activate your psychic mediumship gifts, how you can tune more into this beautiful vessel to bring forward your gifts, your magic in the world, all you have to do is come over to Instagram and comment, activate into the DMs, and I will send you that guide. I can't wait to see who downloads it. I am so grateful that you came here today on the spontaneous reading. My guides told me to come on and do some card pulls because someone needed to hear this today. If you feel like this video would benefit somebody else that feels like they were in a pattern, like a holding pattern, and they've been waiting for the doors to open in the next steps. I think this could be really beneficial for them. So feel free to send that to them. Sharing is absolutely caring, and I'm sure they would be super grateful. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do that so you don't miss a beat with the trainings coming through, the healings and the readings. And until then, I will see you next time. Namaste.